We're talking all about rejection today and how do we handle it? How do we handle it when somebody tells us no, or when we don't get the job that we just interviewed for, or when we solicit our spouse for something that we want and they just tell us no, it's not in the budget right now. There are a million different ways that we are rejected on a daily basis. So how can we be rejected and also stay confident? Today, we're going to talk about just that. Here are 5 ways to handle rejection and build your confidence at the same time. It doesn't have to be either or. Put your happy face on and come see me and let's talk about rejection. Before we get into today's episode, I am super excited to announce I have been working on a course just for you. In this course, you're going to learn all about what is holding you back. What are the things that are causing you to pause when you want to go for that big dream or goal? And what are the things that you can do to clarify your purpose and how you want to show up in the world? So this course will be coming out in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and I am currently looking for 5 to 7 people who want to be in the beta round for the course. Now, all this means is that it will be in a reduced price and that you will go through the course, and the only thing that I would ask is that you give me feedback in return. It's a win-win. Sign up by going to heather@hcedwards.com, put beta in the subject line, and send me an email that says, count me in. We will add you to the list. And then when the course is fully complete and I'm ready to get it out to the world, I will make sure that you are the one that gets the course first. Hello and welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. This is Heather Edwards and I am your host. This podcast is all about all things confidence, the things that impact your relationships, your work life, your personal life, and how you take care of you. Are you tired of feeling like you're in survival mode? Maybe you're stressed, overwhelmed, or just filled with anxiety. Let me help you find your life where you are thriving, where you're fully aligned with your purpose, and you're clear about your goals and aspirations. Lastly, let's go find that life where you have reclaimed your confidence. Grab a pen and paper, your favorite coffee, and let's get to it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Well, it was only 43 weeks ago that I was recording my first ever podcast episode. And let me tell you, I was in full fear of rejection. I kept hitting re-record and editing so many things because I was learning my voice. Mostly what it comes down to is that I was in fear of being rejected. What if people didn't like my voice? What if I didn't know what I was talking about? What if I did this and put all this energy into it and nobody paid attention? So here I am, 40 something weeks later, and my podcast is growing at a great rate. I'm super excited about that. And I am continuing to coach and help people build businesses, build better relationships, and simply go for their dreams and goals that they just feel like they can't get to. That is so much fun. And this podcast, if I had not attempted the podcast, then my ability to do what I do every day would be greatly reduced. I'm here to tell you that rejection can be necessary and it can be so helpful, one, to build your confidence and to help you become a better you. So let's get to it. With number 1, what do I think is a good way to help yourself with rejection and handle it and build your confidence at the same time? Now, you are going to hate me for this answer. I know you are. But number 1 is you're going to go out and expose yourself to more rejection on purpose. I know you are sitting there thinking you are crazy. Just hear me out. When I'm coaching people or a client that hates speaking in front of other people, but they need to get better at talking in front of other people, the last thing I'm going to tell them to do is to stop talking to other people, right? So I would encourage them to expose themselves by signing up for like networking meetings or teaching a Sunday school class, or even just speaking at a family gathering in front of a whole bunch of people. So the same thing goes here for you if you're wanting to work on your fear of rejection. Go expose yourself to more possible rejecting. Or that didn't sound right. Go expose yourself to more rejection. So it just helps you create more confidence in your ability to handle it in the future. And if you believe you can handle it, you don't fear it as much, so you don't run from it. Bonus, you're going to learn what to expect from yourself when you are rejected. And that's the best part, how it makes you feel. Do you tend to find something to buffer with? And when I say buffer, I mean, do you go drink alcohol? Do you watch movies? Do you eat donuts or overeat donuts? Or did you just go to the gym and go really hard with cardio and work out? Deal with it that way. So here's the catch. If you're okay with your reaction, great. If not, begin to reframe how your reaction is to rejection. This is going to build your resilience, and then you're going to be better prepared and you're going to have more confidence. There it is. That's the scary one, and I promise the rest of them are better. Number 2, build connections with people that can and will support you when you're rejected. First, did you know that strong social ties can increase the likelihood of living longer by up to 50%? And it improves your immune function. Emma Sapala with Stanford Medicine shared this, and she shares a whole bunch of information about social connection and thriving. She has a TED Talk, so if you want to know more about all of it, go check her out. It's interesting, but connection requires this vulnerability, but that connection, it helps heart rate, it helps your immune ability, it actually even helps cancer response. Use connection to your advantage. Find 1 or 2 people that you can create a structure with, boundaries, if you will, when you talk to them about getting feedback on something that you've encountered. Maybe it's a job, or maybe it's something with your spouse, who knows? But whatever that rejection process looks like to you, having a connection to talk it through and get feedback is extremely important. This process is something I actually do with my clients. So if you want somebody who's neutral, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to find a coach, someone that you can speak with that will get to know you, can call you out and help you build yourself in a way that you want to and have integrity. If you're someone who really wants a person in your life that is just not connected to anyone else, a coach is the perfect solution. And of course, I'm the perfect solution for that because I am a fantastic coach. Come see me. I'll drop the deets in the description below, and that's how you can sign up with that. But as you become better with getting feedback when you have rejection and talking it through, you'll build your own confidence and you'll be able to see things quicker yourself. Number 3, you're going to cultivate a growth mindset by just turning the rejections that you get into what I call reflections. I talk about this on my podcast all of the time. It's an evaluation of sorts, right? Take the time to figure out what went right, what went wrong, what can you do differently next time. If you don't get the feedback from the person who quote unquote rejected you, said no to a job interview, said, maybe you asked for a raise and you didn't get it. Maybe you asked your spouse for a date night and they won't give it to you. If you can't get feedback from them on what's going on, find feedback yourself. This is not about beating yourself up. You'll naturally grow your confidence if you do this instead of ruminating on how bad you feel from rejection. Side note, what you think about the rejection is hurting you more than the rejection itself. What are you making it mean about you? How can you turn it around into a win? Your brain will absolutely want to protect you by telling you not to try again. Don't listen to that little brain, that voice in your head. Just keep trying, dust yourself off, and get back up. Look, I once called a guy for an appointment 7 times. I kept calling him to ask him to have a lunch with him. And at the time, I was in sales, and I really thought having connection with him would help me in the long run. Well, funny enough, he and I never did business together, but he did call me back after the 7th call and scheduled a lunch with me. And we became kind of, just colleagues because he was so impressed that I continued to call him, and he had a Salesforce, and he kept telling me, what did you think to do that, to keep calling me over and over. He's like, I have tried so hard to get my salespeople to make that third, fourth, fifth call, and I couldn't get them to do it. Always just keep going because you never know when that fifth, sixth, seventh time will be the yes. All right, number 4, live in the truth about rejection. This is wordy. I know it sounds weird. All I'm saying with that is normally the truth is it's someone else's opinion or their preference. It means nothing about you. Yet when we are rejected, we think it's about us. So just be really careful and remain in truth with whatever the rejection is. Don't make it about your value or your worth. And remind yourself that when you make it about that, you're simply just not being truthful. Rejection can also just be a reflection of current circumstances. For instance, if you didn't get a job, it doesn't mean that you aren't a great person for that position. It doesn't mean you're not good enough for that position. I was in HR for years, and I can tell you, oftentimes we would look at somebody's resume and not only look at what they had that could be helpful with the position they were being hired for, but you also look at how they can fill in the gaps with other areas in the company. So never, never, never take a rejection at face value. Half the time, you're not going to get the full truth from whoever rejected you on what's going on. So don't make it your truth to hold on to what you believe that they think about you. And continue to get better and just improve if that's what you want to do. The other thing I will tell you, it is always good to be number 2 than to be nothing at all. I can't tell you how many times in the HR world we interviewed someone, hired them, and they didn't work out for one reason or another. And so we went to the second person. You may not know the full truth. It isn't always available to you, and that's okay. Just monitor yourself and be careful not to make up truth. You'll kill your confidence that way, and we don't want to do that. We're here to build confidence. To build your confidence, you need to stay in truth. Don't take rejection personally. This is hard. I know it is, because most likely when you have a rejection, you're feeling like it has something to do with you, but just don't take it personally and do your best not to harbor ill feelings against the person who rejected you. There really could be a good reason you're not even aware of. Number 5, have a backup self-care plan specifically for when you experience rejection. Something like putting a notebook together with all the achievements you have, or writing a list of all your achievements inside your notes app in your phone, or create a vision board that reflects your successes. Then, when you experience rejection, use this as your visual representation for you to reflect and remind yourself you are fully capable and you are full of value. And then take time to light a candle, take a bath, or just engage in self-love or self-care, because this will help you deregulate your nervous system. If the rejection triggers past fears or frustrations for you, it will be worth your time and gold if you literally just take time for you. Take time to take that recovery and then get back up and back at it. When we take time to allow ourselves to feel that pain of rejection, and then simultaneously, we are loving ourselves anyway, we're training our brain that we're lovable even when it feels as if we failed. And we all know that life is just a big, long train of failing, getting back up, trying again, doing things over and over until we get it right. Rejection recovery can be practiced, and it can help you build confidence, especially if you're doing it on purpose. Rejection simply means you're working towards something worth being rejected from. So keep working at it. Your big goals and your big dreams are just past your rejection recovery. So keep saying yes to yourself, even when someone else says no. Eventually, you'll find that yes. Thank you so much for joining me. Would you do me a huge favor? Will you share this podcast with 3 people you think might find the podcast helpful? To be totally honest, I have yet to meet one person who doesn't have at least one area of their life that couldn't use a crazy confidence boost. Hey, if you want to fast track your crazy confidence journey, let's hop on a call and figure out what's holding you back. Maybe you are struggling with feeling overwhelmed or feeling like you aren't enough. Do you want a big raise and don't know how to ask for it? Or are you just tired of feeling insecure with friends or your spouse? Whatever you're struggling with, I can help you. Go to www.thecrazyconfidencecoach.com to schedule your free discovery call today. Hope to see you here next week. Love you big.